Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Know your class of men. Now, a week or so ago, I did something about, I talked about how my peers were professional men. And I had, I don't know if it was a troll or whatever, probably a troll talking some smack saying, oh, yeah. Now, first of all, this is how whack they were. They say two different things. They say upper tier men, but then they say regular everyday men, which automatically shows two different groups. And say, yeah, they're all chasing physically repulsive women. Or they'll just taste, it's specifically talking about black men, they'll just chase anybody. And I'm just like, I actually answered it. First, I pointed out that it's like you mentioned two different ones. And then it was like, how many, how often have you seen a guy you know to be an attorney, doctor, or CPA dealing with a physically repulsive woman? And then I even gave an example. I gave the person links to the AKA, Alpha Kappa Alpha. Any AKAs out there, shout yourself out in the comments. You know I love y'all. Yeah, know I love y'all. Got 2 babies by one of y'all. So, anyway. And also to the links. Now, anybody know about those 2 organizations? I know the women, if nothing else, publicly are classy. If you see one walking down the street, they generally going to look at least classy. But that whole physically repulsive thing or just chasing anything, nah. See, understand something. And that actually inspired this this podcast today. Ladies, and this is something I'm telling men. In fact, I'm doing something for my private group on how to deal with different classes of ladies. And also, the master teacher BGS has talked about his octane model, and then he introduced the male octane model. Ladies, understand, because some women get this, and I'm seeing a lot of women don't. They lump in every man. See, a big mistake some women will make is lump every man into one category. And to me, that tells me that, well, one, their life experience has been very limited. Because there's going to be a big difference in the demeanor, in really the physical appearance, and just overall aura of a man who's, seldom employed, or as y'all call him, dusty, and then a professional man who has multiple degrees and, at least a 6-figure salary and lives in an area, he's able to keep his car running and he probably has a gym membership and able to afford medical insurance to keep, and dental insurance to keep himself up. There's a big ass difference. There's a big difference because, look, I'm gonna just say it from more the upper tier perspective. And I know some people, they might see some of my car videos and be like, that's you? No, that ain't you. No, I'm just one of those people who can go up and down. I just show one thing here, publicly. I just show one thing. I'm one of those successful types who's low-key. So, but I'm just going to say, it's a different thing, different vibe, different way of carrying yourself. And ladies, if you're dealing with a man, you can't deal with an upper class man or a professional the same way you deal with a dusty. And they shouldn't even look the same to you. Because there ain't nothing more cocky or arrogant, but especially in the black community, than a brother with a degree or 2 degrees. One is bad enough. He's going to be like, yeah, but you get 2 on him? And he's successful in his chosen field, please. But he's also going to carry himself with a certain amount of class. He's not going to be all crazy up here. If he got any tattoos, they're not going to be visible. But see, sometimes a woman think just because they saw that dusty dude going for some busted woman that more upper class dude is going to do this. Man is going to do the same thing. It's crazy. And I've actually encountered women like that. And I was like, no, baby. Because I'm going to tell you what. I talk to all classes of men privately. All classes. You know. I got some Pookies hitting me up. Got some Ray Rays hitting me up. I got some Carltons hitting me up. I got some... some Malik's hitting me up. For those who don't know, the Malik is that guy who got the best combination. He got that little bit of Ray Ray in him, but he also got that little bit of Carlton in him. He's balanced. And, you get some cats at that level, they got that. But you got to know, one thing about him is if a man is carrying himself at that level, at a certain level of class, he's going to want that in his woman. And if you approaching them, like some women might approach that guy like a guy who actually got some money, who actually has the bag, as like he's the same as that dusty dude, and they will fail miserably. Because I've known some of the guys, like I'm pretty nice to women. I'm gonna at least be a little bit kind. These dudes were cruel, and I keep saying that. That's why you did that. My peers are professional man video. I be listening to some of these cats, and I'll be like, y'all can be at least nice to the women. Like if the woman ain't looking like a black Barbie, they ain't gonna deal with it. But see, part of that too, and it's not even so much he don't find the woman physically attractive, but remember, men are still very class concerned and image conscious too, depending on how higher up they go, because they judged on it. I'll give you an example. I remember a mutual friend that set me up with this woman back in the day. This was specifically around when Waiting to Exhale came out, the movie. This was around then because we went to see the movie. And she was average. She was a plain Jane. She was cool though. She was a plain Jane. Now I remember I took her to a party. It was a New Year's Eve party, and it had several attorneys, law students, and I knew all the guys and stuff. Now I took her, and I ain't think anything of it. But she was, you could tell she was slightly uncomfortable with the other women there because she didn't look like a Barbie, but they did. And I remember how the guys came at me afterwards. They were clowning a brother because I wasn't tripping. I was like, I ain't on that bougie. I can hang with some bougie people, but I ain't on it. If I'm down with you, I'm down with you. But they were clowning because of how she looked. Now to a dusty dude, she's a dime. She a dime to a dusty dude. Plain to me, but still to a dusty dude, she a dime. But to these guys who, trust me, these guys were routinely dealing with like what I would call upper tier women as far as physical appearance, also level of class too. Also level of class. These were those bougie women. Shit, they were like jumping on me and everything. But that was because that was their expectation. Because as you go up in class, the person who resides in that class has to not only be of a certain aesthetic, but a certain level of personal behavior. That's a very key piece. They can't be coming in like some area and say, hey, let's go to Uncle Junior and them's barbecue, play some spades. That's probably not going to happen with some of these dudes, even if they came from the hood. Because a lot of times when men especially move up in class, men and women, when they move up in class, most don't dip back down to do the stuff they used to do. They take on the behaviors, the rituals, even the fun things that others do. Because I knew an attorney who, she was trying to move up in class, and I remember we went on a date to this Shakespeare thing. And she had her wine and that long bread because everybody else did. And I was like, okay, I get you. But, the main thing is, ladies, you don't be treating these men the same. Now, this is deeper than, this ain't on that whole select, non-select thing. This is a class thing. This is irrelevant of it because you got not select and non-select among the dusties, and you got select and non-select among the advanced degree people. So this goes deeper than that. You got to know which class, learn each class, learn the habits. Just pay attention. If you in an area, if you happen to get to a situation where you see how they behave, pay attention. Like roughly a month ago, I was at one of those upper tier events. It was with a group called the Girlfriends. I was escorting a young lady who was a member of that group. And the Girlfriends is one of those upper black middle class type of thing where, you introduce yourself, you got to play Negro geography. But I was paying attention to our servers. I was real friendly to the servers. And, I was thinking the servers could learn a lot just by paying attention to how these people were carrying everything. Very classy, wasn't loud. I mean, he still got down, And some of the older sisters in there, they were the ones who did to start doing the line dance. But just the way they carried themselves, it was never loud, crazy, anything. Everybody still had a good time and everything, and it was just like, okay. But if you can have a chance to be in that environment, then you can really see. And that's very important, particularly for ladies who want to get the bag. You got to understand, it's more than just finding some dude with some money. You got to be able to elevate in class too, if you're not already there. And when you talk about the guys who most likely have money, they usually at that upper tier as far as class. Don't count the entertainers and athletes. They usually just, a lot of times they might be, as BGS said in a video, Pookie and Ray Ray's with some money, and which they can lose all the time. But it's a different vibe if it's somebody who went to school for 10 years or something and, had to build up their $1 million. It's a different vibe, very different. So as you deal with men, know your class of men. So anyway, I'll get back with you later. Peace and blessings.